Bring congestion and the stress of that. Oh man.
Really had a bus ran through there, but for the most part, we didn't have any transportation in the hitchhike. When I was dating the girls, when I was in high school age, the only way I could get to them was jump up on that road and stick my thumb out. And the same way coming back at night. In that country, you don't have any traffic hardly at night. And I walked many times from places like toward Micro all the way down to Bancroft. Rock Branch. I was dating a girl in Rock Branch, and I walked that, I don't know how many times. Usually what I would do is I would find out that there wasn't going to be any traffic much, so I'd get over on the railroad track. And then on the railroad track, you step a little bit longer because you go at least 2 times. And made you get out pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to do hitchhiking up my old property up in North Carolina. We had to do that one time when I was younger because I ended up, it was snowing real bad, and we were out on Old Highway 41 doing some sledding stuff. And I remember I was probably like 5 years old or something, and I ended up locking the keys of the truck inside it. We ended up having to hitchhike to get back to your house and Grandma and Pop's house. But
yeah,
I've never done it regularly. I think that's the only time I've ever actually done that. But I definitely would have to, well, I guess I didn't necessarily have to, but my mom was so busy starting to teach and everything when I was in high school that I would run a lot of places when I had to get around. That's kind of how I started doing that.
And these women are known as the dueling divas of art pottery. And it became a pottery throwdown. Absolutely. Did they sort of push each other?
Well, you can walk or run anywhere around here. You're not going to have any problems. I don't know of anybody. I walked for quite a while and before I just kind of quit.
Yeah.
And I walked in all directions from here in any direction you want to go.
Yeah.
The thing of it is, most of the people that you run into in Florida are in for exercise anyway. They either want to walk or climb or do something, lift weights or wrestle or something.
They were not allowed to work professionally. Art pottery began the transition of moving.
I tell you what, it feels pretty great outside down here. I'm getting kind of tired of we've had pretty non-stop cold weather where we live, and it's also, I mean, I know it's a little different down here, and kind of similar but different, but we haven't had like hardly a single sunny day this whole year. It feels like being in like Portland or like Washington or Oregon or something. Just been rainy and foggy and dreary pretty much since December. So it's been pretty cool too. So I'm pretty excited to be down here where it's actually kind of warm.
Yeah. Well, it'll be like this now for quite a while. Once in a while you get a couple of cold days, but for the most part, it's pretty much like it is now.
It feels great to me.
Y'all still got a dog?
Yeah. Yeah, I run him pretty good. He's just insanely energetic. He's always going to go for a ride or go outside. Never gets tired.
It reminds me of the soothing sound of well-said sentences. But hey, just like you might need a doc to touch base, perhaps you need some definitions of the words that have left you feeling adrift. And that is why I consulted a doctionary, a dictionary, to get the meaning of today's bigger words.
Martha's
Can you even believe it?
still having trouble with her shoulder,
And Albert's story is spring
she had some problems with the shoulder, and
This was said.
they did some surgery on it from old problems that she had in the past, and they couldn't get it exactly right. So we're trying to get rescheduled to redo it again, and they're telling her now that they've got to wait, I don't know how long. So she's having problems with that shoulder. And I try to help her a little bit when I can. If she's doing anything that she has to reach a lot.
So they need to do like a touch-up surgery, and
Yeah, they need to go in there and readjust some stuff around the scapular bone.
and we don't have any idea when that'll be. You just kind of left that home for now.
Well, they want to do it right away, but for some reason, the doctor that she's with, the surgeon that she's with, is not really up to doing it real quick. He wants to take his time and see what's going to happen with it. And I've got a back problem. I still have a pinched nerve back there, and I can get up straight sometimes, but most of the time I'm all bent over. '87 years old, so I'm glad to be in as good a shape as I'm in.
Yeah.
Somebody's been texting Martha, I wanted to keep it up. I'm going to have to go in there and wake her up, because it might be one of her kids or her family needing something.
Well, my phone was going off just now. That was my 10 o'clock alarm.
Find out how one scientist is fighting an invasion to save a forest. They've killed at least 1 million trees in Hawaii so far. Wow. Then, it's not your taste buds that give you good taste. It's your brain. What we taste.
Well, it sounds like all your troops are busy then.
And preserving
Yeah.
means giving them a lift, literally. The promenade is then attached to the helicopter. Learn how dedicated scientists are saving.
I'm definitely keeping myself pretty busy. There's a lot of different things I want to do, and I try to work on all of them pretty much every day.
Yeah. Well,
I really want to try to make money making music. I've learned a lot of different things about that, and I really want to try to push it as far as I can. And I think I found a good way to do it. The way those things work now is it's so interesting. It's very different than how it was even 10 or 15 years ago, where streaming is such a big thing now, where you can just download certain apps like Spotify. It's kind of like Netflix or something, where you just have all these things, access to so many different like albums and things. And some of these things that are so popular that everybody uses for listening to music, specifically, people don't, like the artists themselves don't really make any music, don't really make any money off of that.
yeah.
But there's other platforms that are, different apps and things are on the computer. There's things like there's a website called Bandcamp where people actually get it's one of the most important parts of it, like one of the biggest parts of their platform is that the musician will actually get like 80% of the money that is made off of there. So, and it's very accessible, where I can literally go on there right now, and if I have 30 minutes of music, I can just upload it to that website, and I decide however much it's going to cost. I can do it right now. It would take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
do you make any money doing that?
Right away. What's that?
Do you make any money doing that?
I haven't done it yet. I do have a lot of music that I want to start uploading. I have a bit. I'm trying to learn more about production, because on guitar I can play anything I want. I've learned a lot about composition, and songwriting is really fascinating to me. So it's not really hard to make it, but I've been learning about how to make it, really sound right. learn how to do that equalizing and all that fancy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. It's really interesting. That's the. I definitely get pretty obsessive with it.
I think I'm gonna wake her up. I don't know who that is, but
Okay.
they want to talk to her or something. Kids. She's got grandkids as well as her own kids. And we see them a lot. And they talk to her a lot. You know, they're often calling her up for guidance to help her make a decision, which I think is very good. So I think what I'll do is go in there and wake her up, because it sounds like whoever's on the other end of that line is pretty futile, because it's been going on all morning. If you want something to eat, go in there and fix you something to eat.
I'm eating some right now.
Okay.
Got some peanut butter crackers.
In Hawaii's humid environment and how often they need to reapply it. A vacuum attached to this airtight chamber pulls air through a special filter.
This is actually going to collect all of the smells onto it. Ooh, okay, I smell that.
So speaking of sleeping, do you usually use your sleep app all night long?
Yeah.
Do you feel different if you don't use it?
Yeah.
We all love seeing and smelling things.
Yeah, I definitely need the extra oxygen and air that it gives me at night. I've got a oxygen machine that I've added to the sleep apnea machine. It sits in the laundry room, and it's about 2 feet high and about 1.5 feet wide, and it pumps. So I hook it up every night to my sleep app machine, so I'm getting oxygen that way, as well as through the machine.
Our ancestors couldn't just
That sounds pretty good.
ingredients on the side of the mammoth, so taste and smell is how we figured
Yeah, I
out.
think I might have told you about this a little bit when I called you at the beginning of the week, but
Taste information and
about
brain
this time last year, I was visiting my friend that lives up in the Andes Mountains in South America, and it's one of the highest places in the world. And some people need oxygen, you know, even if they're my age or if they're world-class athletes or something like that. Some of those people still need oxygen tanks just because the air is so thin up there.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I was actually kind of scared because I was pretty sick right before that. I got really sick on Christmas the year before, and I got so congested that I was trying to, you know, do all the different things. You know, I was doing everything from medicine, like taking a lot of hot showers for the steam, like drinking green tea to try to, you know, get stimulated, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing really well when I was there, but it was interesting, but it was kind of scary. Like I would wake up and, you know, you kind of breathe so shallowly when you sleep compared to if you're moving around.
Yeah.
And I'd wake up and it would be like, not dark, but I could tell my vision was a little bit different. And I would like kind of sit up, and I'd literally see like red dots a little bit, because you know, you'd just be so low on oxygen. And I'd sit there and kind of breathe how I do, like when you like running, there's like a specific, if you breathe in like a certain rhythm, and you can get oxygen more quickly if you breathe through your nose. So I was doing some of those breathing techniques, and it would go away real quick, but it was just amazing how literally just by being in that part of the atmosphere, getting that level of oxygen makes such a difference. That was it was such a unique experience. I've definitely never had anything like that before.
Well, I have these 2 drops here. One of them I take in the morning and one I take at night. And back, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 6 months, I decided to ease up on taking the drops, and I just kind of took them when I thought of it, which wasn't very often. So when I went in for my next eye check, the eye guy stepped back and looked at me and he said, "Have you been using your drops?" And I said, well, I have been using them, but I haven't been using them as regularly as I did when I was, you know, on a strict deal like you had me on. He said, well, you're making a mistake by not doing your drops. He said, I don't want to carry your examination any farther because it's not going to do you any good. You need to get back on the drops. And
Yeah.
so I said, well, how do I get the drops? And a lot of times I can't get a prescription. He said, anytime you need the drops and you can't find the prescription for them, you come back here and we'll take care of it for you.
No.
So since he told me that, I've been doing them. I put them right here where I can see them every time I turn around. So I'm doing them every day now.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, you definitely gotta stay on the routine. Especially with those things.
Evidently, it makes your eyes stronger to put those things in there.
So both of those drops are for your eyes?
Huh?
Both of those drops are for your eyes?
Yeah.
You said that one's morning and one is night?
Yeah. And I do the yellow one in the morning, and the blue one I do at night.
It's good that they're color coded. I guess yellow and blue kind of makes sense for daytime and nighttime.
I don't know. I don't know whether that means anything or not. It just helps you. If you're a user, it helps you to understand the difference between the two.
Yeah.
But what are you doing about girls? Are you dating or marrying or you got a steady or?
No, I'm not really dating right now. I'm trying to figure out how I can make more of a living doing the things I really want to do. Because I've had the same job since right after I left high school. I've got it'll be 8 years in May. So it's been a long time doing that, and I'm trying to work more on the things I really want to do, which is with music, and kind of like I was just talking about. I've got a lot of work that I think I can make some money from, and it's been even longer since I've actually played music out in public. So that's one of the next things that I've got to do, and I put it off for a long time. I've been terrible about procrastinating and that kind of thing. So,
What musical instrument do you play?
Mostly guitar. I've got one with me. I've got one of my favorite guitars. I'll show you. It's really pretty. Got it in the room.
Has a lot of mythology behind it. Land of open skies and wide plains, where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play. Except all those old folk singers.
This is my favorite guitar. It's got like this Mexican Day of the Dead design on there with these this border and everything. It's actually kind of like it's almost like a kid guitar because it's not a full size. It's like 7/8, so it's just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But it's got these nylon strings, kind of like a classical guitar instead of those steel strings that you'd use in like country or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to play, and it's actually based on the movie Coco. I don't know if you can see that in there, but
yeah,
that's one of those Pixar movies that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a whole bunch of fun. I really love this guitar. I actually bought it for traveling since it's a little bit smaller. It's really easy to take on an airplane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I don't ever have to be without playing something because I love doing it. I do it all the time. But yeah, that's something I want to. I'm trying to treat these things that I've done kind of in private for so long that I know I can make some money off of it. So I'm trying to treat it like a job until I can really benefit from it in that way. So I think I've spent a lot of time really focusing most of my attention on a lot of other things that probably shouldn't be first priority or don't need to be first priority. I mean, definitely don't think it's a bad thing to commit a lot of the time that I have to my job, even if it's not, you know, something I want to die doing. But I'm trying to kind of change my priorities and really make that happen. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah. Well, the only person that's going to make you a success is you.
Yeah.
You just got to keep your nose to the grindstone and pick out the right things to do and work on it.
Right.
A crew specializing in large mammal captures will find the pronghorn, and then the net gun will be shot over 1 or 2 pronghorn. Once netted, experts work quickly and carefully. To keep the animal calm during transport, it's given a blindfold.
I was too poor, I guess. I don't know.
Its legs are gently tied together. The goal of all of this is to handle the pronghorn as safely as possible.
We always have had a choir, and I sang in the choir. And then I had a young men's quartet, and we sang all over the place. We sang at the church there where I lived in Bancroft, and then we sang at the Coco High School where we went to school for different functions, and the people, you know, would invite us to come other places to sing, and we sang mostly gospel songs.
Yeah. You said what was the name of the high school?
Coco High School.
Coco High School?
Yeah, where I went to high school.
Huh.
This research will hopefully carry weight.
So you guys, that's something you're kind of practicing, maintaining like every week?
To help these
No.
be successful.
No, I don't even see those guys now.
Well, I mean, at the time when people were inviting you to sing places, when you're doing
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you're, I guess, practicing pretty regularly.
Oh yeah, we go to a restaurant like back in those days. The restaurant that we used to go to there in Nitro was the Valley Bell, and it was a dairy, it was like a dairy type restaurant, you know, for drinks and food and stuff like that. And every time we went in there, they'd want us to, they'd take us to the back booth and tell us they wanted us to sing, so we'd end up singing songs.
Nice. So how long were you doing that? How long did you sing with that group?
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
There's nothing like volunteering.
Pretty much all the time I was in high school.
Can make it hard.
Now I'm staying ahead of it.
Ronald Arthur was the baritone, and
You can have clear skin and noticeably less itch.
Merle Phelan was the high tenor,
Tell your doctor about new or worsening
and
problems such as eye pain or vision changes.
Herman Hannon was the lead singer.
Pain or a parasitic infection. Don't
We had to
without talking to your doctor.
swap back and forth between them and
What if
who
you
else
whiten
was
your
it?
teeth by simply brushing
Can't even think of their name now.
With Smile Actives, the teeth whitening breakthrough that safely gets your teeth white and keeps
But Herman wasn't available all the time, and churches would call
I never thought that
and want us to come and sing, and
easy. I just put the gel in the brush, the toothpaste
it'd
on
be
it, brush.
hard to get all 4 guys together because we didn't use any musical instruments. It was like what do you call it, barbershop?
You need a simple way to wipe
Oh,
your
yeah.
teeth without strips, without trays, without going to the dentist.
Well, that's pretty cool. I bet that was a whole bunch of fun.
It was. I enjoyed it. I thought it sounded good.
Yeah. There's this guy I really like. He's pretty crazy. He's a real weird guy. His name is Frank Zappa. And he was really big in the 70s and 80s. He died in the 90s, but he was a big guitar guy, kind of like Jimi Hendrix and people like that. And he played some incredibly complex, just insane, weird music. But the one thing he always talked about from the 60s to the 80s and 90s was he thought the best thing in the world was just hitting like a real nice like doo-wop or like barbershop quartet, kind of that harmony that they would do.
Yeah.
That was something he always incorporated in his music, no matter how weird and crazy it got.
Yeah.
I always thought that was pretty cool.
And buy one, get one absolutely free for just $24.95. That's 2 for 1. And
So I guess you stopped doing that around the time of high school. You started working in other things.
Yeah, when I left the area, I kind of got away from music. I haven't been into music for quite a while.
Yeah.
Check out Mission Unstoppable on YouTube for an exclusive look at the innovators shaping our future. Mission Unstoppable, part of the CBS Dream Team. Weekends on CBS.
Is Brocky doing any music now?
Mission Unstoppable, part of the Dream Team.
No, not rock. He's still got a guitar. I don't know how much he plays it, but I think I've pretty much got that front covered all by myself. I've got an album I recorded about a year ago. I released it. I kind of put it on the internet like right before the year was over in 2021, and that's one of the things I'm kind of working on, trying to make it sound better and finish it right now. And it sounds pretty good for the most part. It has a lot of different stuff on there. I've even got we've got some singing on it, and there's one song that's in Spanish, and most of it's in English. I've got a lot of different things on there, but to me, that's the most interesting and special and fun thing in the world. I think there's a lot of amazing things about music, and I always love seeing how people, it's kind of funny how, it's like, a lot of people don't really take music super seriously as like a profession, or, maybe you don't think it's that professional. But it's always entertaining to me to see just how much people rely on it and depend on it, and really react to it. I mean, at work, like in the kitchen, the ladies will have, they're all from a lot of them are from like Mexico and Guatemala, and we have a lot of ladies from Venezuela now. And they're all really great people, but they're always listening to these very energetic, very rhythmic, really cool music and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny because it seems like some people like almost can't even work and focus without music.
Yeah.
I saw a really interesting quote the other day. I watched a video. It's on YouTube where there's this guy that kind of studies behavioral patterns, and the main thing that he does on his YouTube channel is he'll step in the shoes of somebody for a week. He'll try a particular habit, like a routine of a specific historical figure. There was one where he found out everything about Albert Einstein's routine that he could, and so he tried to do all of that. He tried to live like Albert Einstein for like 3 weeks or something like that, just to see how his body and his mind would react to it. And it was really interesting because apparently Albert Einstein slept a lot. Even when he was really busy, he would, when he was like a professor and everything, he would sleep like 9 hours a night, and he would sleep, he would take like an hour, or he would take naps for, like an hour or more during the day. And it was like, I guess he was just really trying to fuel his brain as much as possible, give it that rest to kind of, there's so much development that happens while you're sleeping and things like that.
Yeah.
That was interesting. But a quote actually from Einstein I really liked was, Einstein said something about how he basically said that if he wasn't like a physicist or a teacher, if he wasn't so much into science and mathematics, that he definitely would have been a musician. He said something like, music is the greatest science and magic in the world that people still don't even understand yet. And that's something I think about all the time, because I think it's kind of true. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done with it, like people that have like dementia or things like that have certain issues where they might be kind of non-responsive on a mental level, or physically, I guess. They hear some song from when they were younger, things like that, and they'll kind of liven right up and kind of come back to life a bit.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting just how deeply that stuff can be seated in your brain and in your subconscious. I think it's amazing.
Oh, wait, let me animate myself. Science Minute with Miranda Cosgrove. That's me.
They,
This is a bald eagle, and it's a bit of a fraud. No, not like that. It's totally a real bird.
Lainey.
On TV, it lip syncs.
Lainey's pregnant with that baby,
Whenever you see one of these guys
and she's about due to have it.
across the screen, it's usually
And
accompanied by this fierce scream.
she's got some kind of a problem with food poisoning, and they're concerned about the baby now because she has the food poisoning.
Oh, jeez.
So that's what she was, I guess, wanted to get in touch with Martha.
Producers realized that in order to preserve the bird's symbolic value, they needed to give its voice a makeover. Thus, stick around. We've got one last thing.
So how old is the baby?
The baby? She hasn't had the baby yet. It's
Do you struggle with occasional nerves
she's,
in your hands?
I think she's due to have the baby any time now.
Oh.
But there's a problem with it. It's still head side up. It's not turned in position to come out.
Oh, yeah, I think Marco was talking about that last night.
Before we go, we have one last thing.
When I first started out in the field of science, there weren't
So everybody
a lot of
that
like me being a woman.
knows her and loves her is praying for her and
The field is getting a lot more diverse,
hoping that
and we could use more diversity.
the Lord will intervene
When
and
there's more people
straighten
with
things
different
out.
ideas, we can do better science.
It doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like.
That's a little,
You can be
little nerve-wracking.
whatever you want to be and be successful at it. Because I personally don't come from an outdoor background, and now I see.
Yeah, Martha's really concerned about it. That's one of her favorite.
You don't need to be a genius or be really naturally gifted at science or math to be involved in STEM, because if you love something and you're willing to work hard at it, the work doesn't feel that hard.
That's it for Mission Unstoppable. Maybe next week we'll do something on crabs. They aren't our first choice, but they'll do in a pinch. Bye!
This is interesting. I've never seen this show. Miranda Crossgrove was real famous when I was younger on different shows.
Yeah,
I didn't know she was doing something like this.
now, I catch stuff like this a lot of times. When I'm in here and reading the paper, I usually have the TV on, and I try to have it on something like this. It's a little bit more educational.
Yeah. The thing about the trees in Hawaii was pretty cool. I didn't hear everything they're talking about, but it sounded interesting. Trying to save those trees using plant hormones or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where Brent went to, for his honeymoon in 2020. He went to Hawaii and went to a couple of those islands. That shirt, I don't know if you saw that colorful shirt I was wearing last night. That's actually from Hawaii. Brent bought that for me. It's a real nice shirt.
In the city of Chicago, and they've made such a huge comeback.
And help with the banding of a cranky crane.
Any last words of wisdom?
For over 2 decades, the Hope for Wildlife Center has rescued, rehabilitated, and returned thousands of animals to the North American wilderness. These dedicated volunteers give them more than
Well, I'll probably head out in about 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna
in the wild.
go off to Disney Springs and meet up with my friend.
This morning, Hope and Rebecca
Okay.
are on their way to the airport to catch a flight to the Windy City.
They're laying off 30,000 employees.
Hope and Rebecca have
Yeah, that's terrible.
with a wildlife rehab near
I don't know how it's going to affect their service.
Yeah. Is that just something that's happening over the course of this year, or has it already happened?
taking an architecture
No, it's just happening.
But it's not just
Starting.
sightseeing.
We're going to a big city, it's urban wildlife we're going to be looking at. So it's a different.
They've been laying off a little bit
wildlife in the city. And
along
taking this boat tour.
the year, but not enough that they can make an announcement, that we're laying off 25 people or 85 people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual
Famous for
for
its
them to make an
architecture.
announcement like they're making now.
Yeah.
The city is the birthplace of the modern skyscraper
Yeah, that's awful.
and home
I wonder
to
if,
some of the tallest buildings in the world.
Is that because they're not making enough of a profit, or are they having some type of specific problem?
The city's downtown
I haven't read or
is alive
heard
with
anything
history.
about that.
And so did the ancient migratory
I've read the
floodbats
headlines in the
millions of
paper and
birds. It's a
I
dangerous combination.
hear the stuff on TV.
But thanks to dedicated volunteers, birds that are impacted are taken to the Willowbrook Wildlife Rehabilitation Center on the outskirts of the city. When the birds arrive, the Willowbrook staff begin their emergency assessment. The critical test for rescued birds is, can they fly?
So we let them fly out one at a time and see who's ready to release them and who needs to stay.
If they can,
Oh, that looks good.
they will probably just momentarily stop and can be released later the same day.
All right. Next one. That's not too encouraging.
The birds that have not flown are given emergency veterinary care.
I guess birds don't need much oxygen if they're just putting them in a bag.
Yeah.
Since they're wild animals, we don't know as much as we would if it's about a dog here every summer's head. So they stop and then he isn't dying about as much as I know about him right now.
Imagine how they feel. They must be scared to death.
Yeah, I can imagine being stuck in a box with no life. Very claustrophobic.
If the injured birds are lucky, some of them will be released back into the wild.
You probably haven't heard this, but Dean was living with a couple people pretty close to where we are now in Ackworth. And the guy who owned the house, well, I guess his roommate, he was actually a part-time snake breeder. And when we were helping him move out in December, I talked to him for a good little bit. It was really interesting to hear about that stuff. I guess, makes more sense for it's not surprising with reptiles, but snakes, like, pretty much once they get to adulthood, like, they barely eat or breathe or anything like that. They hardly need any oxygen, and I think they eat just like a couple times a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty self-sufficient. And they also lived a long time. I didn't realize that the particular snakes he was breeding and selling, they live up to like 30 years or something. I think sometimes even longer. Most snakes that live that long.
What, the python?
Yeah, something like that. There was two different types of snakes he had, and I don't remember exactly what they were. He was gonna give me one for free. Some of those snakes are very exotic and they'll breed like specific traits. There's this one, like, it's a beautiful one. It was like pink and it was like some rose albino snake or something. And that one, it was like a baby. It's a couple months old, I think. And he was selling that one for like $800 or something. But some of the snakes I think he'll sell for, several $1,000s.
Yeah.
Pretty expensive. Very rare snakes. And he had one that was like, he was saying normally it'd be like $50, and he said he would just give it to me because he wouldn't even really make a profit on it. I didn't take it, but I think the idea of having a snake would be kind of cool.
I don't know. It'd be something you'd have to take care of. You can't just let them go, put them in a box or throw them in a corner somewhere and forget them.
Yeah. Oh, so he's calling on TV. It's nice.
So who are you going to go with?
I'm going with it's an old coworker, a friend that she worked with me for a couple years at Zach's place, and it's just somebody I used to work with that I still talk to.
Oh yeah.
Her name is Kira.
Will you coming back here this afternoon?
Yeah, I think I'll be back probably before it gets dark.
Well, I hope you enjoy your outing. That's a lot to look at.
Yeah, it's always fun going up there. The two things I really like is just going to getting some kind of chocolate thing at the Ghirardelli place, and I really like going to the Lego store. It's always amazing to see what kind of stuff they're coming out with.
Yeah. I think that's kind of turned around a little bit. I think now they're going back the other way. I think they've decided, you know, some things that are strong and pay off good are contributing to people. They have a tendency to keep, but if they analyze it and they can't see any real good benefit for it, I think that sooner or later they'll let it go.
Every time I go there, I'm amazed at just how many different things they have. I mean, even if you want a soft pretzel, looks like you got 10 different options for it.
Yeah.
There's some kind of place when we went to go see that concert last year with my parents and I and Dean. They wanted to go to some type of cookie place, so it's kind of like a bakery, this whole bakery that really just specialized in cookies, and we didn't even go in because the line was going to be like an hour or something. It was insane. I think it was a weekend, so of course it was real busy, but it was just, it's insane. It was crazy to me to see just how backed up a lot of that stuff gets.
Well, you'll find anything you put down here in the way of an attraction, it's going to be pretty busy. Because people from up north hear about all this stuff, read about all this stuff, and when they come down here, if they're visiting their family or they're visiting some kind of show, they are going to spread out and try to see everything they can. So if you go out here right now and try to go to some outside function like Disney or SeaWorld or any of those things, most of the time you're going to find people that didn't really come to Florida to go to that particular thing. They just went there because they have to be here and the attraction is there. I used to go to SeaWorld quite a bit when I was working. They called me up. Wanted to know if I knew anybody that would want a job in security. And I said, doing what? And they said, running the security program for SeaWorld. I said, I don't know of anybody right offhand, but I have one particular person that I would recommend that you talk to. And they asked me who it was, and I told them. And they said, well, you wouldn't be interested, huh? And, you know, I was working at the plant then, a year or two from retirement. I wasn't about to rock the ship then. So I recommended the guy that they've got down there now. He's still with it. Chuck Sargent.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he worked at our plant for a while, and I got to know him a little bit. He's doing him a good job. They like him.
So this is our raptor flight facility. This is where we house all of our medium or large size raptors prior to release.
It's a circular flight cage.
So I just want to warn you too, as we go in here, there could be some birds flying around.
Oh, wow.
So we have a great owl. We also have a red tailhawk.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you can have something together.
We do. Because we're in a large enough enclosure, they don't interact negatively together. The way that it's set up is this loop that we're standing in goes completely around the structure. So if you picture a donut, you know, we're in that shape. And these three are actually all just about ready for release too.
Which is good news for everyone. Next, it's a trip across town.
Those owls are such interesting looking creatures. We hear a lot of those at our house in the woods where we live now.
We have a lot of birds here. In fact, you see them out there in the yard once in a while.
Yeah, I heard some interesting noises last night.
Yeah. It's not unusual to see 5 or 6 of those cranes. Long
Yeah.
legs.
Soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Suffering from sinus congestion, especially at night? Try Vicks Sinex for instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours. Vicks Sinex targets congestion at the source, relieving nasal congestion and sinus pressure by reducing swelling in the sinuses. Try Vicks Sinex.
Hi, my name is Jay Michelson with Hands On Gloves. I've been bathing and grooming horses and dogs my entire life, and I have my fair share of pets. The common problem with metal bristle brushes and blades is they rip and cut the hair out. If you wouldn't use these on your own skin, why would you use it on your pet? That's why I created a better way.
Introducing the #1 ranked and multi-award winning hands-on gloves. The scrubbing nodules on the fingers and palms provide deep, thorough cleaning and are the best de-shedders on the market today. Just a simple flick of the wrist and the hair instantly releases so you can go right back to caring for your pet.
What do you think your dad's going to do after he retires?
Allows you to better massage and improve
I
circulation.
think he's going to watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and I think he's going to do a lot of biking.
The patented nodules get deep under the coat.
They, my parents are doing Whole30 right now, you know, where you get rid of a lot of different things that cause inflammation in your diet. It's like real strict, but you slowly bring those things back in your diet to see what things you react better to and what you don't react well to.
Yeah.
So they've done that a couple of times. So it's a good way to lose weight, but also, you know, figure out what you should or shouldn't have in your diet, you know, on it individually.
We have rescues.
And
being bathed and groomed, but with hands-on gloves.
my dad does really well with variety, but I think he's such a good varied eater that sometimes he eats a bit too much. So he's got to figure out a way to dial it back a bit. That's something he's working on.
Yeah.
That's not alright. You know what it's like when you're living the life. Same old man. And you know what it's like. And she says, that's not Rebecca with the K. And can't forget the Shay. It didn't have my name. It didn't have my name. It didn't have my name. Why didn't they? was here at last we had a last. Ice cream over to numbers, save me from the spread. Ice cream over to numbers, we've had a that's not it. That is definitely not quite it. You are the only Not as much when you meditate. Never thought of the right way. Never thought of the right way to say. Amazed what the places feel to stay. Bye.